Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Ms. Sarika Joshi, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, brings you yet another session on telephone etiquettes. A telephone department is a very significant department in the hotel industry. People from all over the world call this department or the hotel landline for making booking, which could be either for a room or a banquet hall or even a table booking, or for asking some kind of information about the hotel services, transferring the message to the guest who is staying in your hotel, or for various other purposes. If you are a hotelier, then you may have to answer the telephone calls. And yes, it has to be a prompt one. This happens mostly with the front desk staff, as the front office is considered as the heart of the hotel, wherein the guests may call you for any kind of service expected. Today, in this session, we will learn some most effective telephone answering tips. These are some basic techniques that you should follow while answering the call in a hotel. In this particular session today, we are basically going to see the do's of telephone handling. In my next session, which is going to be part 2 of telephone handling, we shall see some don'ts of telephone handling. Yes, what you heard was a telephone ring. It is expected that you answer the call within the 3 rings. This is a standard norm which has to be followed as per the standard operating procedure of telephone handling. Not only when you can answer the call within 3 rings, you have to greet the caller with a smile. Make the caller know your work area, as in your department, and followed by your name. Use a courteous and a welcoming voice. Yes, a voice which is very welcoming make the guest feel that you are available for his service. Use a standard script to greet the callers. All the hotel management or the different management have a standard script that they prepare and expect their staff to follow. They in fact train the staff as per the script which they are expected to follow when they receive an outside call or even for the calls within the hotel. We shall see them in the part of the examples which will be shared in the upcoming slides. So during the call, it is expected, as I said, to greet the guests as per the time of the day, which could be either saying good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Announce your department or the name of the organization and offer for assistance. In that case, if we could summarize, we will say good morning, XYZ Hotel, or if it is an incoming call, ABC Department, Sarika at your service, how may I help you, sir? These are the standard scripts which are prepared and the staff is expected to follow the same. While you are handling the call, you are expected to avoid the use of a slang. Use of words like yay, okay, nope, nah, righto, or just a second are not accepted at all. The caller or the telephone operator is expected to modulate your voice or his or her voice. So the voice should not be too loud, as in, even if there is too much of work happening around, your voice shouldn't be too loud. Neither it should be too soft that the listener is not able to hear it properly. Not too fast or not too slow. Here it says that you should answer the call by using the standard script. But for the caller, it may be for the first time that he or she is listening to you, so she should be able to make out the department or at least your name. You have to modulate your voice accordingly. Speak clearly and naturally. Yes, everybody has some kind of accent that they follow, but too much use of it may also will abrupt or will act as a barrier in the process of communication. Correct posture is very important when you are handling a telephone call. You may wonder how. Yes, you are expected to sit erect or straight in the chair that you are sitting and taking the calls. Your body posture definitely matters and it is reflected in your voice. So you are expected not to slouch even though you are feeling tired for the day. Smile, always smile and use a sweet and a pleasant tone as it welcomes or gives a welcoming feeling to the guest. It carries in your voice and the listener can listen it well. So yes, even though a listener cannot see you face to face, he can make out the kind of body posture that you are into, and this definitely makes an impression on the caller. Remember, students, this is the first call probably a guest is giving to the hotel, so the first impression remains as a last impression. And this is here created by a telephone operator who is attending to the guest calls, or sometimes any of the internal hotel staff who's attending to the guest request calls. Listening is an art, definitely it is. So you have to pay very careful attention to the caller by listening. It is not only hearing, but when you are trying to listen to the caller, you are trying to understand the message which the caller is trying to give you. Avoid interrupting the caller. This is very important. It may happen sometimes that you are not able to get what the caller is trying to say. However, you should avoid interrupting at that time. Once the caller finishes talking, you can get back to him or her and clarify your message. Remain calm, polite, and always helpful. This attitude is important as each guest calling could be calling for various reasons. At times, it could be a request call, or sometimes the guest may be complaining over the telephone. In that case, the guest may lose his temper. However, you are expected to remain calm and polite, and you should always be helpful or sound helpful that you will try and help to handle the situation. Jot down some of the details if necessary during the call. It is very important that you do so because as human we cannot remember all the things. To make this easy, most of the hotels have a standard script or a format. We also call it as a message slip that they have already drafted so that the telephone operator do not skip any of the point while jotting down the message. However, it's always important that the front office staff or the telephone staff should always have a pad and a pencil on hand to note down these messages quickly, and especially the front office staff. As I said, note down the message and to make it easier for the telephone operator, some of the standard things that can be noted down. The first one here to mention is the name of the caller. Sometimes you cannot make out whether it's a lady or a gentleman. In that case, it is very appropriate that you ask him or her to properly spell their name. Name of the company is another important thing. After asking the name of the caller, the telephone operator should ask the name of the company or where is he calling from. The telephone number or the mobile number is important to note down further. The time of the call is noted by the telephone operator who is at that time handling the call. This is important because though the systems have changed now, earlier the messages used to be jotted down on the message slip and this used to be passed on to the guest when the guest returns back to hotel, and at that time while handling the keys, we also hand over this message slip to the guest. Whoever is the telephone operator, he or she will write the name and hence it is taken by which operator on what time and at what date are important elements on the message slip. Do not try to remember the entire message. It is practically not possible. So, for our convenience, hotels provide us with the message pads or the message slips. The next important thing is to read the message back to the caller just to check so that whatever details you have noted down, especially if it is a phone number, is correct, and then the same is handed over to the guest. Write out beforehand a message that you are going to say on the telephone. Once it's ready, it's easy for you to repeat it to the caller. Times when you get an incoming call, the request is to connect the call either to one of the departments of the hotel or to the guest room. But while you are doing so, you should inform the caller before connecting. In that case, you can say, "Connecting you, sir or ma'am." Once the call is connected, it is supposed to a particular department, and if there is no one to attend the call in that department, the call keeps on ringing. Get back to the caller if you are unable to connect, and you may in that case say, "I am sorry, sir, but there is no reply from the person or from that department." That means the call comes back to the telephone operator, which you are expected to reply again. While handling the call, it is also important that if you are connecting a call to the specific person in the hotel or in a particular department, you have to inform the caller. Thus, by saying so, "Kindly be on the line, sir, while I transfer your call." Some of the hotels, they have a standard tone which they use while they transfer the call. In that case, it shouldn't be too long a call duration for the guest because the guest might lose his temper if he listens to that for too long a time. If a person is required who is required and is not available, revert back to the caller saying, "Mr. So and so is not in the office, sir. May I take a message on his behalf, or would you like to call back?" In that case, you are giving an option to the guest either to call back or you, as I said, you already have your message slip ready to note down the message. But a very important thing to note here is if you have promised the caller that you will call him or her back, remember to do so. Otherwise, the guest may get annoyed and it may come up to a complaint. This is usually happening when the in-house guest may call you for some kind of a request or a complaint, and you may tell the guest that you will get back to him or her after finding out the solution for the same. It is also important to end a call in a specific manner, like how we have picked up the call and also followed a standard script while attending to the call and transferring the call. It is so very important that you end the call by thanking the caller. As I said, you may repeat the message first and then thank the caller. You are expected to disconnect the call or the line only after the guest has placed his receiver down. Remember not to bang down your receiver. The references that I have used for making this particular PowerPoint presentation and video have been mentioned here, which I used for content as well as the images that I have used in this. I'm sure you have got it right how you can handle a call, and I wish you good luck if you are going to be one of the front office staff or the hotel operator staff and are going to handle the calls throughout the day. If you have liked my video, do share and click on the subscribe button. To help you further with this video content, I have a small quiz link which I have pasted in the YouTube description box. I urge you to attempt to same so that you update your knowledge about the telephone handling tips. So for now, I wish you good luck and goodbye. Thank you so much.